Hey everyone, Tim Anderson here, aka Renfo. Welcome to the latest Monday Musings episode where I talk about life, stuff with Chris, shows, TVs, books, all the other stuff. This is my vlog space where I talk about all the things that are going on with us. It's not necessarily dedicated to gaming like the other stuff is, or pop culture, or all those other things. This is just my personal space to talk about things. If you've been following along the past few episodes, you know that Chris and I are moving. So you'll notice first and foremost, there's no world map, there's no green screen, nothing behind me. It's a bare wall. Over here, I have the box for the monitor, um, and that's because today is the last day for all of our stuff. I am pre-recording this at 9 a.m. on the 6th of Sunday. So when this comes out on March 7th, the movers are going to be here on the 7th. So this may be the last Monday Musings for a couple of weeks. I'm still not sure what day we're getting the internet shut off here at our place in Mexico City. Um, if I'll try to record an episode for next week. But if I do, it's going to be pre-recorded a couple days in advance, and it will be just recorded with on my laptop as opposed to with the monitor and everything. So stay tuned for that. But I've talked about this the past couple of episodes, the fact that we are moving out to the countryside. Um, so this is sort of a finale because this may be the last. If not, it will be the next to last episode that we do in Mexico City. We have been here 4 years. But we did purchase a place out in the countryside. I say countryside. We're not actually in the country. It's just a small town. It's a small town with about 20,000 people out near where Chris's family lives. And it's a big transition for us. We're going from renting to owning. And I've never owned a place before. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of work. We have to furnish it. We have to do electrical work. We got to do a lot of stuff. So you will all be witness to that because I will be documenting that, or at least I've thought about documenting. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna do that because the thing is like my channel is all about gaming and books and reviews and shows and all this other stuff, and there's a certain aspect to it of if I document that, then it's different than the content that I'm already doing, and A, are the people going to like that follow my channel, and B, if they don't, it's bad for the algorithm, and I don't want to do things that are bad for the algorithm. But at the same time, there are people who are interested in what I'm doing. We're definitely going to be doing documentation over on TikTok, but that's more Spanish-based language stuff. So the English content is what I do here on YouTube. So anyway, stay tuned for all that kind of stuff because I may be documenting that kind of stuff. And there will definitely be shorts coming out here on YouTube as well as over on TikTok over the next couple of weeks as we're in the middle of moving and transitioning and everything. So stay tuned for that stuff. Situate my beanie a little bit better here. So yeah, it is March now, everybody, and things are barreling ahead full speed. Let's talk about some of the stuff that happened this past week. Definitely we got past the peak of the big sort of rush that we had from the Rings of Power stuff, and we're starting to see who has stuck around for the long-term content. And for those of you who have stuck around for the long-term content, thank you so much for sticking around for all the other stuff that I do on YouTube, not just the Rings of Power stuff. But definitely saw that huge spike in traffic and followers, and then we're back down to sort of what I would consider to be normal in the sense that it's our certain percentage who have stuck around and who are continuing with the channel, which is awesome. Thank you so much. Got a lot of fun content coming down the pipeline. One of the things I'm going to be doing this upcoming week is Chris is leaving with the movers on the 7th, which is today, the day this comes out. I'm going to be pre-recording like 2 weeks worth of YouTube content over the next 3 days. Basically, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, possibly into Thursday, I'm just going to be sitting here and recording. I've got, I think, 8 episodes in total that I want to record that are going to be coming out between the 8th of March and the 25th of March. And I also have to prepare a bunch of Patreon posts. And I also have to work on getting, at the very least, getting chapter 14 written, which is coming out this Thursday, the 10th. I may not get chapter 15 written, but I'll definitely get chapter 14 done before I'm out the door. So I got a lot of stuff I'm doing over the next few days. As a result, I won't be streaming. I've been streaming every morning the past few weeks. I will not be streaming in the mornings this week. Um, I may be streaming at nights, but we'll see what my schedule looks like. So stay tuned for all of that stuff. I did my first big interview, and I say big interview even though I know him. He's one of my friends. But the Nathan Napalm has a pretty big YouTube channel, and he's a pretty big guy in the MMORPG and RPG and tabletop space. And I did my first interview, big interview for the Weave in the Void, with him on his YouTube channel on Saturday. Sat down and we did like an hour and a half plus, and then he published that to his members in full. So if you're a member of his channel, you got to see the whole thing. And otherwise, that's coming out in 10 or 15-minute segments over the next few weeks as promotional material. So he's obviously doing character art with us on the Weave in the Void, but he's also doing promotion. And I have a like piece of hair or something that's bothering my eye. So if you haven't watched that yet, I posted it in the Discord channel in the announcement section. The 15-minute overview one, and it's basically we're talking about all the lore and stuff behind the Weave in the Void, classes, races, all that good stuff. And then it's promotion time. So the books are coming out in June. He's doing character art. We've got all of our internal art already finished from Chris. She's working on covers right now in between the moving and stuff. And that's all coming together. So we're starting to do the promotion for that. So Nathan's video is a good starter if you don't know what we're doing with the Weave in the Void and you don't want to go over to our Patreon page and try to dig through, a year and a half of posts. You can just watch Nathan's video, and that's a quick update for everybody, kind of a 15-minute overview. And then beyond that, he's got a special promotion that he's running for the first 4 people through his channels who sign up and register on, so he'll be running the campaign module for them. So if you want to know more about our project, the Weave in the Void, and the tabletop component of that, which again, it's 3 parts. We'll talk more about all of that at the end of this video, as we always do, but it's the 5th edition tabletop setting, and in that setting, we have the first campaign module along with the source book, which explains the setting for people who want to run the campaigns. Then we have the point and click adventure game that is set in the same world, and we have the book series that's being written via Patreon, which is like Dragonlance. That's all set in the world as well and follows the adventures of some of the characters that are in the tabletop books, and it takes place simultaneously. The campaign is taking place at the same time as the book, and there's crossover between those two, so it's a great way to get involved. Just dive over to the Patreon page and check all that stuff out. Had a couple of podcast episodes come out this past week. If you are following on YouTube, you'll see those in the community sections and also over in Discord. But we did the Equipped podcast, which I actually recorded back in early January, and it just came out last week. And that was a game dev podcast. So I talked about my work on Saga of Lucemia as well as the work we're doing on Weave in the Void, what it's like having founded 2 game studios, the difference between being the CEO of a big company and being the creative director on an MMORPG versus working on something that's much smaller with just 2 or 3 other people, a couple of contractors and stuff. So if you like that kind of stuff, make sure to check those out either in Discord or over on the communities tab. When we come back from the move, I'm not going to do it for the Lost Mine of Fandelver campaign. I thought I might, but I'm not going to because that was just sort of a test run for us. But as we get moving towards the live streaming of the Weave in the Void um, campaign on Twitch, we will also be producing a podcast version of that. We may also be hiring a social media assistant at that point because it's too much for me to do. I can do it, but I have other things I need to be doing. So if I'm doing all the podcasting and sound bites and everything else, then I won't be able to do as much YouTube content, and I really want to be able to continue to do YouTube content. So more than likely, we will be bringing on a social media assistant. So stay tuned for that if you have ambitions of wanting to maybe do that kind of stuff. It would be production of sound bites. It would be the recording of all of the tabletop sessions and then producing those as podcasts, getting those uploaded to the relevant places, helping out with social media and all that stuff. So we'll talk more about that in probably the end of March after we get settled with the move and everything else. So obviously the move is going to be the big thing for us the next couple of weeks. Here's my rough plan. I think that what's going to happen, and it depends on a lot of things. First and foremost, they told us, this is what the internet is. And if it is what they say it is, then everything's good. The download is obviously not what bothers me. It's always the upload for streaming. Regular YouTube videos, it doesn't matter because, it is what it is. It could be a crappy internet connection. You just leave the video to upload while you go to bed. But streaming is the issue. So we have some creative solutions um, uh, in terms of streaming. We'll know more when we get there. But they told us that it's a 200 down, 20 up connection. So as long as that's true, as everyone knows, you never get the full upload. So if I can get 10 to 15 upload, I'll be happy. If it's less than 10, I'll be stressed. But it's a small town and no one there. It's a cow town is literally what it is. There's a small university there, a supermarket, a bus station. It's 2 hours from the nearest city. So it is a small town. 20,000 people, as I said. But no one works from home out there. The only people who are using any sort of upload data are going to be during the daytimes for Zoom calls because of students and stuff. Um, so theoretically, I'll be okay for streams first thing in the morning and at nights. We'll know more when I get out there because the internet's the one thing that I'm still not 100% sure of. We've talked to a couple of the technicians on the ground there, and they have confirmed that, oh yeah, we have that, you know, um, 200 down, 20 up. So fingers crossed. Here I've been blessed to have a 200 down, 200 up symmetrical, and it's been rock solid the whole time I've been in the city. So that's been nice. So we'll see what the internet's like when we get out there. That's the big thing. Everything else is just going to be for those of you who have ever bought a home. Um, we are first-time home purchasers, and so it's a place. The easiest way to say this is that it was built I want to say 30 years ago, so it's 20, 30 years old. Construction's a lot different here than it is up in the United States. So everything here is like with block and brick. So it's not wood-based construction. So the houses last forever. And we're not in an earthquake zone. Chris is very happy about that, leaving an earthquake zone to go out there. Um, it is hot and humid, but that's fine. It's not my favorite temperature, but it's close to family, so that's the big thing. But the one thing is the house is not wired for modern appliances and modern offices. It's not wired for a home office. So one of the first things we have to do when we get there is I actually have to get with an electrician and we have to rewire the whole house because it's not set up for air conditioners, for all this computer equipment. It's not set up for all that stuff. Not 100% sure, but Chris said she thinks it was just one breaker for the whole house. That's going to sound crazy to some people, but it's a small place and the people who have lived there, um, it's just been, regular people. They don't care about having a home office. They don't need air conditioner because they're not there all day. They're only there at nights to sleep. And so fans and everything else is fine in the evening times. Whereas we're moving in and we have home office. The both of us work from home, so we need air conditioners installed. We need plugs and outlets, and we need to make sure that there's enough ampage and everything else so that we're not flipping breakers every time we, turn on the oven in the kitchen, the electric oven, while the AC is running. I don't need the whole house going down. So I actually have to, I'm not going to do it. I hate working with electrical. Um, but we have some friends who work for the electrical commission, so that's gonna be the first thing on the agenda is getting the wiring for the house situations sorted out so that we can get our home office set up. So more than likely for once we get internet installed sometime over the next couple of weeks, once I'm back online, I'm probably not gonna be wearing a beanie. And you probably won't see me wearing a sweater because it's warm out there, and we're not gonna have AC for the first few weeks at least because I gotta get the house rewired. So you'll be seeing me in t-shirts and probably a bandana as I sit there and sweat while I'm doing videos. Um, but it's nice because it's our place. So once we get all the wiring done, from there, the first agenda for us is getting the home office set up so that we're back to streaming and video production and everything else for all of you and for everything we're doing with the Weave and the Void and the Patreon and everything else because that's our day job right now. The day job is YouTube and game dev. So getting the home office set up is number one priority. Once we have the office set up, priority two is the garden. Chris has wanted a garden for years, and she's finally going to have a chance to have a garden because we do have a backyard. So she's going to be getting the garden going, number two. Number three, which is a more long-term project, is going to be getting an outdoor. I'm going to build a brick oven for making pizzas and breads and stuff, and then an outdoor grill area. So building, I don't know if you've seen them, but like when you go to, if you've ever been to like a big steakhouse and they have the grill where you can see it, it's usually something like, let's say it's 10 feet wide and 3 feet deep, and it's got all your grates and everything else, and then underneath is where you put all the coal and everything, and then above that you've got swing outs and everything else where you can swing in and hang like a a pot or something. So it's sort of an outdoor kitchen, outdoor grill area. Because one of the things that we could do out there, because they do a lot of it, there's lots of grilling going on, but also wood fire. It's all wood. It's just there's woods everywhere, and so it's readily getting wood is readily available for cooking. So we're going to be doing a lot of outdoor cooking, and that's something that Chris has wanted to do for a long time. We've both discussed it over the years. We've always wanted to do it. If you have followed me for a long time beyond this channel, if you're someone that has been around for a long time with our marginal boundaries content back when we used to live in Cancun, Chris and I have put together cookbooks, and we've done a lot of gastronomy tourism for tourism boards and hotels and restaurants and stuff. And Chris and I have dabbled with stuff. We've done the Lotro cooking in real life show here on this YouTube channel. Chris has done her cooking show. We've done lots of cooking stuff and recipes and stuff, and she's always wanted to do her own sort of cooking show. So the idea is that we're going to get the garden set up, and then we're going to get the outdoor kitchen with the brick, the brick oven, and then the outdoor grill area. But the way we're going to be building that is so that we can grill on it as well as just have an outdoor fire and swing a pot out, put stuff in it for stews and other stuff, and then swing it back over. So sort of old school stuff. So I'm going to be documenting all of that here on YouTube and on TikTok, um, with my personal channels, obviously, not the brand channels. And then Chris will be starting to do cooking videos. I think she's going to be doing those on TikTok. She may be doing them on YouTube. I don't. She hasn't fully decided where she wants to do stuff yet. But I'm urging her to build her YouTube channel up. Um, That'll probably mostly be in Spanish, but maybe English. We don't know. Stick around for that kind of stuff. So that's going to be those are the goals for this year. We're getting moved here in March, get the internet set up, get the home office set up. Once the home office is set up, Chris is going to get her garden going. Once the garden is going, we're going to start working on building the outdoor kitchen area. Probably the grill will be first, I think. Um, haven't decided yet. First, I got to look at the property, and then you decide how we're building it, and I got to download schematics and watch. I've seen quite a few videos, but watching things and sort of figuring out what I want to build versus actually being there and seeing on site where do I want to put things so that I have shade, things of that nature. Have to look at all that stuff, but that's going to be stuff that you'll see coming down the pipeline. Not right away. I don't know exactly when we're getting to that, but that's going to be happening throughout the course of this year after we get moved. Um, we're going to get animals for the first time ever. She and I together have never had pets, because we were traveling all the time. We just couldn't. And then going up to the U.S. all the time, you just can't have pets. Um, but we're not doing a lot of traveling right now because of pandemic stuff. I don't want to travel. I do miss my family up in the States, but we'll see them eventually. And we don't have kids, and it's not looking like we're going to be able to have kids. So we just have kind of decided that pets are going to be the thing for us. So we're finally going to be in a position to have pets. So that's the next thing that's going to be happening. Not right away, but sometime this year. Um, she wants a dog, and I want a cat. So we're both going to get them, but we're going to try to get them at the same time. I mentioned this in the last episode, I think. We're both going to get them at the same time so they can grow up together and they're not scared of each other. And the dog doesn't hate cats and the cat doesn't hate dogs. And leash train them both at the same time so that we can take them out on adventures. And yeah, we're going to be that couple. The cat's mine and dogs is Chris's. So we've been talking about dog breeds and other stuff. So If you've been hanging out in Discord with us, we've been talking about that with some of our community members too. So, um, the beard should stay for the meantime. I'm gonna see how I feel after I get out there and get hot and sweaty and everything else. But I'm a year and a half into the beard right now, and it's like I kind of, like I said, I want to see what terminal length is for me. Is it belly button? Is this it? Is it gonna be my belly button? Is it gonna grow all the way down to my knees? I won't let it grow all the way to my knees. Like I feel like I'm a respectable length right now. I'm not quite Gandalf length. I think belly button would be Gandalf length. So in another 6 months, if it gets down to my belly button, that's probably the cutoff point for me. That's probably what I won't let it get any longer than that. I like the length it is right now. Like I was okay with it when it was down to here, but I really started liking it when it got to about here. And now that it's gotten here, I actually like my beard now. Like I'm actually like, it's not bad. I still, you can't see it's this side is thicker. Let's see if I can show this. So that side, you'll see here, like this is thinner than it is here. That's just my natural beard. It doesn't grow perfectly. Everybody's got the imperfections. It is what it is, but I like the length now. So, and it doesn't look bad when I've got like a beanie or a hat on. I haven't had a haircut in a while, and I told Chris, I was like, you know what? I had to just say screw it and grow my hair out again, and I don't care about the bald spot in the back or the thinning in the front anymore. Let's just grow it out, and now I can be like a true hermit hippie for D&D sessions. Anyway, one of the things that's going to be coming after the move too for YouTube is going to be the angry bearded white dude rants series. I've got some ideas about things I'm going to be ranting about, so stay tuned for that. Which is also why I can't cut the beard off quite yet because I need to produce at least 10 or 12 episodes of that show. Um, so that'll happen sometime after the move. I am going to be reading. I'm getting it sorted out this week and onto the Kindle, but I'm going to be rereading the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which I haven't done in years, and the Hobbit. So I'm going to be reading all those, then the Silmarillion, and I'm going to be rereading Narnia this year. And that content is going to be coming here to the channel. I'm going to be doing reviews on the books and stuff because it's a good time to be preparing for everything ahead of the Rings of Power. Plus, it's really good for traffic right now in the algorithm. Also, Lord of the Rings online content. I love that game. I play it every year, but this year more than ever, I'm going to be doing a lot of YouTube content for Lotro. I've already done some class guides last year. I'm going to be continue doing class guides. I'm going to be doing leveling guides, beginner guides, lots of Lotro content on my YouTube channel. Because it's good for the algorithm right now, and lots of people are enjoying the game. Our gaming community is enjoying the game. We're having fun, so expect to see lots more of that content over the course of this year. Now let's talk Weave and Void stuff, which we already talked a little bit about because uh, Nathan Napalm promotional material. Um, the book chapters right now do not have artwork because Chris is busy moving. So we haven't done artwork for the past couple chapters. We probably won't have artwork until she gets set up in the new office and can get. So I've had her. She's done at least one cover finalized, and then she's worked on like 3 or 4 other drafts. But as of today, she's not going to be able to draw anything for the next few weeks. So, or at least the next, 2 weeks because we got to move and then get the office set up and everything else. We got to get desks and all that good stuff. So there's downtime with that, but I'll still be able to push some chapters out. The module is basically done in a rough draft format. I still got to add the encounters to the book. That'll happen at some point after we get moved. I'm also going to be working on editing the source book to a slightly more polished point to get it to our tabletop players this week. If I can't do that, it's not that big of a deal, but I'm going to try to get that to them by the end of the week. But I got to get all the rough drafts completely done by the end of April. And then because March is the layout month. March is the month when I'm adding, not March, sorry. May is the month when I'm adding all of the artwork and doing all the layout and everything else so that we can try to have things launched in June. So I got quite a bit of work ahead of me. But that's all I'm going to be doing for the month of May and June is just getting all that stuff. Not just May and June, but as soon as we get moved, just March, April, May. I've got 3 months to get everything banged out. And then I need to be ready to publish by June. Maybe not June 1st, but in June sometime, because we want to start the Weave in the Void campaign on live streams. So hopefully you'll stay tuned for all of that stuff. You're going to start seeing me promote more and more the Patreon page. So those of you who are here, the easiest way to tell not have to stress about it, get subbed. Go over to the Patreon page and get subbed because we're finally in promotion material because we got the first books coming out and we're actually starting the live streams here this summer. Point and click games going to be out in the winter. The book chapters are going to be ongoing for years. That's just part of Patreon. With Nathan being involved now, we're hoping to continue to get ongoing artwork from him, even just beyond the tabletop stuff, and we'd like to get to the point where we're producing regular modules for tabletop that are agnostic, but that are for our campaign, but that can be used elsewhere. Map packs from Incarnate, lots of character art, concept art, monster art, and etc. So if you like that kind of stuff, you're going to want to support over in Patreon because we're trying to build that up into something where we can get a whole team of people producing tabletop content on a regular basis. Obviously, it's starting with Chris, myself, my brother, and Nathan helping us out. And as we get more funding, that's going to allow us to push more money to Nathan and have him produce more art. And then as that grows, we'll be able to bring on another writer, bring on somebody to do incarnate maps alongside me, and we'll just continue to push more and more content. So I would highly, highly urge you to get over on Patreon and subscribe, even if it's just at the $3 a month tier, because you get access to the book chapters that way. You get access to the concept art stuff, teasers, and reports on income and all sorts of fun stuff. So head on over there and get that done. That way I can stop harping on you, and you get access to all the cool stuff. Plus, everybody gets access to the private, super secret section of Discord for all the patrons. So hopefully we'll see you over there. In the meantime, I'm gonna head out, folks. I gotta get laundry done, our last laundry day, and then I gotta disconnect the washing machine and stuff. I gotta get more packing done and break down the desk and all that good stuff. So thanks for following along, everybody. For those of you who have stuck around beyond the Rings of Power content and you're enjoying the Monday Musings and all the other things that I'm doing here on YouTube, thank you so much for your support. Don't forget, we now have memberships here on YouTube as well. So if you don't want to do it through Patreon, you can support the channel by joining as a member here on YouTube as well. Hopefully, you'll pick one of those options. We'll see you over in Discord, next video, all those good things. Stay healthy, stay safe. If you don't hear from me for a couple of weeks, it's because we're in the middle of the move. But again, I might have an episode out next week. We'll see. Until next time, cheers, everybody.